Well, hello. Hey. We already know. You already know. This is Daily Momentum. We are into the momentum. Hey, I've been going over a lot of good topics with you all, my friends. I just thank you all for joining. If you get a little time, could you right down at the bottom there is some likes, things where you can like and share my video, or if this is your first time joining me, I sure appreciate you coming out and joining me. But take time out to subscribe. You know when my videos are coming out, and that I'm giving all these snips and tips along the way to help us along the way so we can be able to keep the momentum going. Hey, what I'm doing is talking with people that are want to be in leadership, that are entrepreneurs, that are ministers, that are people that want to have self discipline about themselves, that want to be able to have an encouragement in their spirit so they can be able to move past people that are going to school, people just or that the ones that want to have a kind of organization in their lives to try to get things going in a pace and say, hey, do I want to run a business? Do I don't? Do I want to work full time for someone? Or just I will just want to get myself together and have some type of organization in my life. Um, well, a lot of these tips and snips that I've been giving you is some really good stuff. If you would take and just go into and look in some of my videos, some of the great things that I have, put some momentums that's going to keep you moving and moving forward. Hey, so what I've been talking about, we talked about trying to set small goals. I just want to run over some of the little things that we've talked about to just to pull all this information together. And so, if you didn't get a chance to watch some of the videos, or if you got too busy, I'm just going to add a lot of this stuff in it. And so, I talked about some 10 titles that I added in to my channel. Start small. A lot of times we want to get into the momentum of doing all these different things, and we just have to pick one and just take your time and get into whatever you want to do, and to not just be all over the place. Pick a niche, something that you want to do. Uh, for instance, myself, I am a entrepreneur. I sell snacks, and so years ago, I started off from that is doing landscaping, doing construction until I can be able to pull in the money that I really wanted to get in business because I always wanted to be a businessman. I always wanted to just do business and I enjoyed it. Gives me the flexibility to prioritize my time, to make up my decision of how I want things to run, how I can be able to give things to people and to help people to see my side of a business side. And so, I start off small. I start off very small. I did full time work. I did part time work, and using my business that I am in now is part time. So I had a full time job at uh, one points of time until I got into where I could be able to do it. So I started off small. I started off with a little candy store in my front yard, selling to the neighborhood kids, selling them Huckabucks, and some of us call them Huckabucks, some of them call them Dixie cups, some of them call it cold cups, push cups, or whatever you want to call it. I started off in selling candies, pickles, different things that I started off. Um, in my starting off small. So that's some of the examples that how I got started in there. And so that's what I did. And so I set goals when I was doing that, what I wanted to do. And that's what we have to do is being a leader. You have to be the one that's going to set the goals of how you want your organization to run and how you want it to grow. So you starting off, like I said, start off small. Number two is set goals. And that's what I did. I set some goals of what I wanted to do. Not only that, a good thing too would be to have a vision board. That's what I am into it now doing, which I will talk about that later down the line. But I did set goals uh, in my structure, my leadership is being able to discipline myself, being able to follow some things that I wanted to, things and I had some a lot of trial and errors of different things. And so I had to set goals of different things that I wanted to do because I wanted to do business. And so I had to push that into one and to be able to have a goal set to build off of that. And also, you have to be consistent. That's number three. Be consistent. You have to be consistent if you are trying to build something, trying to get something. You have to go at it every day. So now I don't have to put as many hours that I used to put in. Most times, if I'm putting in extra hours, guess what I'm doing? I'm reading and I'm studying and educate myself to learn things in my business that will help be sufficient to my business of education that how I can get my business to run fairly well. And so number four is use triggers. I had to use something to trigger me to keep me consistent, keep me motivated. So there's going to be some things you're going to have to put into your business to kind to trigger you to remember. It's kind of like having an alarm clock, you know? So that's kind of things that you want to do. Track your process. Go back and reevaluate yourself and say, this is where I went this far. How can I get better in being able to grow my business? Now, if you're serious about doing these things, then you have to do that. Same with working on a job. I had to work on myself better than I work on my job. Because if you begin to work on yourself, you're going to be a better person all the way around. And that's spiritually, mentally, and physically. But number one is spiritually, putting that into play that would help you run a better process in your life. Reward yourself. There's some things that you're going to have to do to help you to accomplish these things. You're going to have to reward yourself in building your business. Not only that, that was number six. Make it enjoyable. You have to make this thing fun. Don't just go in like you're working a regular job. And some people who have jobs, and you may be on a job right now working that you don't enjoy, make it fun. Enjoy your day. Put a smile on your face. Find something that's positive throughout the day. As you being a leader, find something positive that you can do. Quit sitting around and complaining and being around people that's complaining. Uh, Pull yourself together. Get that momentum in you. Let people know that you're a better person, and that comes with the fruit of the spirit. Have you allowed yourself to check yourself about your fruits and your spirits, and then not only that, that was number seven, making it enjoyable, but building a support system around you. Be around people that are positive. People are not sitting around complaining. People are always got bad news to bring you. Don't come bringing me no bad news. You have to set boundaries about this bad news, things that people complain and bringing to you about it, and cut it off and say, hey, look, I need a support system that I need to build around me, people that are positive, people that are going to pray, people that are studying. You want to build that around you, people around you that you know that are growing already. That people say, hey, and ask them questions. Say, hey, how did you do this and do that? And how did you get this for? Ask questions and stuff. And that's how you build that support system to help build your support system. It's because you remember what I said earlier that you have to work on yourself. Work on yourself better than you work on your job. You have to work hard on yourself. That means being able to get yourself equipped spiritually, mentally, and physically. Not only that, you have to be patient. Look, you in this game for the long run. If you're going to be a long time employee, if you're going to be a long time leader, if you're going to be a long time entrepreneur, guess what? It takes patience. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm sorry to tell you the bad news that you're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and you're going to be rich because you just open that door and you are your first time being a business person. It's not going to happen. I wish it would happen unless you just win the lottery, and there's a short chance of that. So you have to be patient. Be patient on yourself. Work on these different things and tips that I gave you, and that was number nine, being patient. Not on that, number 10 is learn from your setbacks. Okay, we had all these things. You went through all these things of growing your business. Learn from these different things. Don't go back making these same mistakes, these same setbacks. This is your time to start growing. You need to grow, get these things going, and let's get this business started. Let's get this crew that you had together. Let's get these employees that you are leading. Let's get these people on course from the mistakes that you have seen in there. You've been in this for long enough. It's time to come out. It's just time to come out. It's almost like you're being the Egyptians. You just going round and about for years and years, 40 years. Some of y'all are still going that same setback. It's time to come up out of the setback, and let's get this momentum going. Let's get it momentum going. I'm hoping that some of this stuff that I am telling you that will help you capture some of your mindly thoughts, and that I always talk about scheduling yourself. You have to write some things down. I have tons of notes that I always have papers. You go look at my videos, it will tell you where I got these papers from. And some of these scratch notes and stuff like that that I got. But I want to give you a bonus tip. When you start your business, you always got to have some type of savings. You have to have a savings. I started out when I was doing savings. This is a bonus tip now. You always got to have some type of savings. If you are getting a little savings account, start out. I mean, when I started my first savings account, starting trying to grow my business, I had to start saving a few cents here, cent here. I even got a jar. I had a jar, and I would take the change that I had, and I was put it in that jar and save it up and put it in there until I got to elevate yourself. So you have to understand, if you're not used to saving, it's going to be hard to save. So these are some of the things that people need to know about saving. I mean, I imagine that's why some of you are not paying your tithes, because you're not in the pattern. You have to work on that. I'm asking you that if you're not paying your tithes, it's going to be hard for you to be a good leader. It's going to be hard for you to be able to be a good business leader, because you're not even taking care of God. The Bible says you are robbing Him. So guess what? Take some of these things into accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Go back in Malachi, read some of the things about paying tithes, and how if you're not paying tithes now, how do you expect your business to grow? I mean, that was a bonus tip I'm giving you. I'm going to always throw that in the wrench in there, because I have tried Him, and that's what God says, try Him. And I ask you that if you would try God and continue paying your tithes, paying your offering, invest in God. I mean, some of these things that I talked about and stuff, but the number one thing you need to do, you need to invest in God. Invest in God's house. Invest in God's people. Quit listening to that shucking and jive about people saying that pastors are getting rich and all that. You ain't giving to the pastor. You give it to God. And whatever the pastor do with that money, then that he's held accountable there. You do what you're supposed to do. My mother always told me, say, that if you do good no matter if anyone is not doing good. That's what you have to do. You have to do good. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You do what's right. And that's what you have to do. So those who do not do good, it's a sin. So try to do something good. Keep the momentum going. I'm hoping some of these tips, some of these things are going to inspire you to like, and so we can get this momentum going, so we can be able to help other people reach out and get these things in people's hands, and so people understand that they got to keep the momentum going. It's taking different teachings, different things that I'm hoping that I'm reaching someone. If it's just a few people that I can reach and say, hey, maybe this guy has something. So thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm just hoping that I can be able to help you, and only God knows that I can be able to reach you. And I'm giving you everything that I've studied and learned to help me along the way. And you all have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. For all that you are doing, and just likes and shares, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it for all that you do. All right, you have a good day. Bye bye.